welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be doing the rabbit Easter wreath, and I love these little rabbits. I found them at the Dollar Tree, and I was wanting to put wax on them, but I wasn't sure where to put the wax on them, so I kind of left them alone. This wreath is a little bit smaller than the one I will be demonstrating today. This is going to be one of those fun ones. And so know that it is a little bit smaller. So the first thing I did is I took a dowel and I stuck it into my wreath. And there's a couple of reasons for that. It's to hold your bunny or whatever you're putting in the middle in place and to give it some support. So if you have anything and you don't know how to put it in the middle, you can do it by that. And I stickly just put that in there until it didn't wiggle anymore. And you probably should come around and just kind of hit that with a little bit of glue, and that'll help hold that even a little bit better. So I'm going to take my bunny now, and I did not put this at a straight angle because of his head and his ears, and the stick would show, and we want him to be kind of, his body isn't centered, he's more forward. So we're gonna try and put some wax on that, and I probably should flip it up and do it the other way. And we also want to kind of anchor him into the bottom as well. So I'm trying to get him to fit into the wood a little bit. And I want him kind of even on both sides, so we'll see how that does. But the first thing is I'm just going to anchor this. Now if you were doing the wax technique anywhere on the rabbit, make sure if you use your glue gun you have it on a low setting because it will melt your wax. I've done this in the past after I've put a lot of work into something and didn't even realize. I'm going to leave this stick down there because it's more secure that way, and I'm just going to cover it up with my bow. And I was one of those people that always thought for some stupid reason I had to have my glue gun on high setting all the time, and I always burned myself. And I've learned it doesn't need to be that way. Now, especially because we're going to use some Easter grass here, so we don't want it just disintegrating. We're just going to kind of put it going up the edges and the sides. So we're going to just kind of put our wax on. And I know when you turn it on the lower setting, it's slower coming out because it's not melting as fast. I'm only going to do half at a time. Try and get that on there. Kind of scrunch it up. Now we're going to glue other things on there too, so that'll help even a little bit more. If one side's taller than the other, then add some more to it, or pull it a little bit, or kind of make it even. It's a pain working with this stuff, I know. Gets all over everything. I know why our parents loved it so much when we were little. Now on this one, I have a bigger wreath, so I'm going to use a bigger bow. This I also got at the Dollar Tree. See if I have room to poke it in there, and I do. So we want to kind of center this out. I'm using a pipe cleaner to tie it on. And we want this low enough that you can still see your rabbit and not have him cover up too much of your design. And if your grass gets in the way and covers up the little chicks, come in and give it a haircut. It's not a big deal. I am going to put a little bit of hot glue there. You also can put the melted crayon or the wax design on your bow. You can decorate it, you can add dots, you could do sending dots. So you can have it all kinds of fun ways. In fact, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of that. I'm going to use dandelion because that shows up really, really well. And I'm not going to do, I just want enough. Now, if you were going to put this out in the sun, you might want to not do this step. And for those that you don't know, this is Crayola Crayon. If you've never seen it demonstrated, please visit my website at miriamjoy.com. There's a video to the right, and you will be amazed at all the fun things we can do with it. If you visit my YouTube site, we've currently got close to 200 different videos, all kinds of projects and wax things and different things. But see how that kind of just gives it that more Eastery egg feel. You could put some swirls on it. I've used a little wax liner and done some of that. That takes a little bit more time, but the results are really cool. This is just kind of a little fast thing. Now, normally after I do this, I take this outside and I would still spray varnish it with your Krylon, probably the Krylon gloss. And I thought when I first started spraying that, especially over the glitter, that it would kind of dull my glitter, but if you're using the gloss, it almost even brings it out more, and it also makes it stay on better. When it comes out of the company, it's always not secured really, really well. So there we've got our little bow and everything all ready to go, and so we've added some bright color to that, and we're going to add a little bow to his neck, and that also came from Dollar Tree. And you could paint him if you wanted to, and see, he's got the little things. I don't want him to cover up the design, so I'm just going to stick him under there, and I'm just going to glue him on just like that, just to make him look like that Easter rabbit you would get. Even your chocolate ones always have the big bows and everything in them. Now on this one, I'm not going to add the Easter up here. The Easter foam I did find at Walmart, and it was $1. It was in the Easter section, and I added the crayon to it, or the wax. Again, spray varnish that. And what's really nice about this is so thick that when you do glue it on, you don't have to worry about melting. And I just put the grass up on top as well on that one. Now I want to show you a couple of things on this one. I want to show you the Easter eggs that we've been demonstrating for you. We just did a thing on, if you did a couple of those, just probably 3. Well, I usually want to keep things odd. And just how pretty that would really be on that wreath. And I can't hold 6 or 3 and 3 on each side, but look how beautiful, just like that, how that would just be really pretty. On this one, however, I'm going to do some little rabbits. And I know I'm wiggling around a lot. It's harder to work with a larger project, and I apologize for that. If you ever have any questions about what we've done, please email me. But I found, instead of the Easter, where it was, I found the little bunny rabbits, and I really liked these. So I'm going to add a little bit of wax to our little bunny rabbits here. We're just going to pull some ears down, just to give it some character. His little puffy tail, his little pink nose, and then I am going to just do an eyeball, and I'm just doing green just because I have green. That's the only reason. Spray varnish those again like we talked about, and I'm going to put these around in my little grass part here, and then I'm also going to come back in and put some eggs in with these, and I think I'm going to kind of maybe look like they're sitting with Mama a little bit. So I'm going to glue them up here a little bit, kind of like they're sitting with her, and maybe this guy a little bit. Sometimes you got to kind of figure out where they're flat and what's going to hit underneath them too, depending on where they should go. So we've done that. Now let's glue some little plastic eggs. They're just smaller eggs. You could use gourd eggs. You could use whatever you wanted on that. And And because I did 2 of those, I'm going to make sure I did 3 of my eggs, keeping it odd. And we're going to add 1 more up here, or down here, can't decide which. Let's do the other side and we'll come back and look at that. That's why I always like to leave things in my videos. I don't want to be perfect because I question things just like you question things, and I want you to see how I kind of work them out, because then that helps you as well. And if you noticed, I didn't put the pink right next to that pink bow. We want to keep that a little bit away from him as well. You also could put a big bow up on top if you wanted to. I think we've got so much going down around the bottom that we don't need that. I think that would take away from it, so I'm not going to do that. Make sure you are on a low setting. And that last third one. You could put flowers in here. You could put whatever you want to. That's one thing I really think that would be cute at the top, is a little bow with some branches, like some willow branches going out on top. If I had that, I probably would have done that. And I am going to, and I know you can't see, I apologize for that. I'm going to do some more fill-in egg work down here, and then I'll lift it up for you. And sometimes it's kind of hard to get through to the grass to secure it to the wreath, and you have to push, and sometimes you almost have to put an egg in and almost kind of maybe let it melt and then do it again to kind of melt through that grassy layer. So there's nothing wrong with that as well. But pushing it there for a minute. Make sure you're hitting something to secure it onto. You're not just hitting the grass, because the grass will not hold it. So I'm going to go back now. And I want a little bit more grass up here. Not much. See if we can even... a little bit right in here, just so it doesn't stop. It kind of tapers off a little bit is what I'm after. And we're going to put a green egg up there. And I'm going to come back in here and we're going to fill in a little bit. So I'm ending up doing 5 little eggs on each side, and I found a whole bunch of little Easter eggs at the Dollar Tree, and I know Easter eggs are not very expensive, so if there's a certain kind you like to put on your wreath, do that. Or if you have some that you've saved from the years before, use those. You also can even pick them up from the thrift store. There's nothing wrong with those. They get used one day a year, so probably have less little germies on them than anything else. On this one, I'm going to stick his little butt straight up, so that he's kind of sitting like that. Alright, so we've got our lots of little rabbits running around. I'm trying to make sure this guy maybe go a little bit tad higher, but there is our little Easter wreath with our little bunny rabbit, and that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. For more of my YouTube videos, go to my miriamjoy.com site, and there's a link that takes you over to the YouTube videos. Currently we have close to 200. There's always seasonal videos that we do, as well as informational and training videos. You will also see last year's, so don't forget there's not only these, but there's last year's videos as well. So thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful Easter, and God bless.